What are those?
Did he say how he did it?
No.
He didn't say? He just said he took him for a ride.
That's all he said. Nigga, they took for a ride.
Then he said, we dumped the body. I know for a fact that's what he said.
He told you personally,
We dumped the body.
In the late hours of March 2019, 32-year-old Leon Harrison Jr., a devoted father of two, would vanish from Georgetown, South Carolina. His nightly ritual of calling his children stopped without warning, leaving a silence that spread panic through his family. Days passed, fear grew, but then the unthinkable would happen. Leon's body would be found floating in the Black River. The peaceful town, once defined by charm and community, soon became the stage for a chilling mystery. Leon's death was no accident, and the truth behind it would expose betrayal far closer than anyone imagined. The most disturbing twist? Evidence pointed to someone inside the family circle. His own wife's own brother would later boast on camera about his role in the murder on camera. What began as the story of a father's routine life unraveled into a nightmare of deception, violence, and treachery that shocked the nation. But before we begin, let me take you to the city where it all began. Georgetown, South Carolina, a picturesque coastal town with historic charm and a close-knit community. It's here that the disappearance of a father of two would send investigators on a whirlwind of searches, interrogations, and startling discoveries. 32-year-old Leon Harrison Jr., or JR as his friends called him, was last seen at his father's house in late February 2019, attending a family member's birthday party. He was a devoted dad to his 11-year-old son and 9-year-old daughter. He was known as peaceful and easygoing. Leon wasn't the kind of man to cause trouble. But by March 11th, Brittany Green, the mother of his children, knew something was wrong. Leon hadn't been in contact for 2 whole weeks. That wasn't like him. So Brittany reached out to the authorities. She explained to detectives that Leon sometimes misplaced his cell phone, which meant he could go days without calling. She even gave an example of a recent time when he was without a phone for almost a week. But this time was different. By that Saturday, no one she knew had seen or spoken to him since February 25th. 2 weeks had passed, and that silence didn't fit Leon's character. Leon was a man who loved his kids, who showed up for family, and who kept peace with everyone around him. For him to vanish without a word was more than unusual. It was alarming, and that's when the search for answers began. By the time Brittany left, investigators were already circling a darker possibility. And they would be right. Just days later, the Georgetown County Sheriff's Office would receive a horrifying call. Their search team had spotted a body in the river. But what was more unsettling was that the body had the physical description that matched Leon: his height, his age, his build. But there was one problem. The body had been in the water long enough that decomposition made immediate identification impossible. The discovery was more than a disbelief. If this was really Leon, how did he end up in a river? The peaceful, easygoing man everyone knew was suddenly the center of a mystery. And while investigators worked to confirm the identity, his family was left holding their breath, waiting for the truth they feared was coming. It wasn't long before investigators soon realized this death was no accident. The body's hands and ankles were bound with electrical wires, likely from a speaker set. This was deliberate. It was a homicide. But investigators needed to keep it on the low until they're sure it's Leon, and most importantly, why anyone would brutally take his life. To understand why Leon ended up dead, investigators began examining his personal life. In 2014, Leon married 32-year-old Taish Rue, originally from Washington, D.C. Their wedding took place in historic downtown Georgetown by the waterfall. It was a day filled with joy and promise. Afterwards, the newlyweds moved into the Rue family home on High Market Street in Georgetown. There, Taish worked for Allied Universal Security Services at the Georgetown Steel Mill. The couple tried to balance family responsibilities, work, and the everyday stresses of small-town life. For a few years, their marriage seemed happy. They celebrated milestones together, recorded home videos full of laughter, and shared their lives openly with family.
I hope y'all day going pretty good. Mine's definitely is. I'm smiling just because, smiling is just what I do. But I hope you all are blessed. Y'all staying positive, staying above.
From the outside, it looked like a picture of stability. But as we've seen many times, social media videos don't always tell the full story. Only a few years later, cracks began to show. Those close to the couple shared that they were cheating on each other. The trust that once held their relationship together began to evaporate. Eventually, the couple decided to separate. But here's where it gets interesting. Even in separation, their lives remained tangled. It seemed as though they couldn't fully let go of each other. But Leon had his ways. He would split time between Taish and her girlfriend, a woman named Rosario. This information wasn't hidden either.
He was between the sheets, okay? So he might have been with this girl for a little while and that girl for a little while. But this girl went out of town for a week.
What girl was that?
The wife went out of town for a week.
Tish?
Yeah, she went to wherever she Washington or wherever. She was out of town for a week. So he was with the other girl.
Do you know her name?
The one in the projects.
Rosario?
Yes.
Okay.
He went with her, and they was to the house every day.
They were to your house every day?
Every day for that week. You understand what I'm saying? When this one came back in town, I thought it was over with, but it probably wasn't. So he was probably still conversating with this one and still having conversation.
His father explained that when Taish went out of town for a week, Leon spent time with Rosario. But when Taish returned, old tensions and arguments would resurface. Not only that, on the evening of February 25, 2019, the last time anyone had physically seen Leon alive, Rosario claimed that at around 10 p.m. she had received multiple calls from Leon's cell phone, but it wasn't Leon who had been calling. When she answered, she heard the voice of her boyfriend's wife, Taish.
It had to have been after 10 by now. And it was the wife. And all I said was hello. And she started talking, yeah, they are over here. He all fucked up, which y'all thought y'all was smarter than me. Y'all was going to outsmart me.
Is this the first time you ever talked to this woman?
No.
Oh, okay.
And I hung up the phone. And then she called back maybe like 5 minutes after that, and I didn't answer. I'm assuming that's when she left the first voicemail.
Okay.
And then a little bit of time went by. Got another call from his phone. I answered because I assumed if he was that intoxicated that he was trying to call me to correct the situation. But it was her again. I hung up the phone. And then that's when I got a text from the phone number and it said, I can't be with you no more. I don't love you. I never will. But the way that the text was sent, I know he didn't text. He didn't write that. He doesn't use commas in between things or whatever. And if you look at the text messages in our phone, he don't use commas.
She explained that Taish had begun yelling and accusing her and Leon of cheating, so she decided to hang up. But Leon's number wouldn't stop calling. Few more calls had come in which she ignored, but then text messages began flooding in saying Leon doesn't want to be with her again. But Rosario didn't believe Leon had sent them. She suspected someone else was manipulating the situation. She had also tried to reach Leon numerous times after receiving the breakup text, but the calls never connected. Not only that, when Taish sat down with detectives, she admitted to investigators that an argument had taken place in the backyard, away from the children, after her shift on the 25th, the same day he would be last seen alive. She also shared that she had grabbed Leon's cell phone from him during the exchange and accused Leon of messaging his girlfriend, but insisted she never intended harm. After the confrontation, Leon left and never was heard from again.
Never. From the time he left your house up until the day, he has never texted you, called you. You have not been able to get in contact with him?
Nothing. I mean, I can show you nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. Like, I tried my best to reach out because my phone is so jacked up, excuse me. Because I'm used to that with him. Nothing.
At this point, detectives knew the last known location of Leon was the Rue home on High Market Street on the evening of February 25th, after his fight with Taish, and everyone who has been so far questioned seemed to know nowhere he might have gone to.
If you've been here long enough, you know Georgetown's a small town, okay?
Absolutely.
And you know how word travels, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, we've been getting phone calls all morning.
Okay.
Okay, we've been getting calls from D.C., we've been getting calls from all over the place, okay? And everybody's saying that you're the one we need to be looking at.
I just don't like the fact that I'm being targeted because I would have never in any shape, form, or fashion hurt that man. I never said that I would hurt him. Nobody could say that, you know, like this baby mother, a couple other people I know have screamed at this guy and told him they want to kill him. They want to get somebody to kill him. But then everybody wants to point at me because I'm the wife and because, I'm the only one who wanted to be honest about seeing him last.
Okay, well, who said they wanted to kill him?
That baby mother is crazy. That girl has sent text messages. She has said so much rude stuff to both of us to the fact that we had to stop communicating with her for a while. And the children suffered. Mm-hmm. Then I told him, regardless of how ignorant she is, you still have kids. You have to find a way to communicate with her. Just don't talk to her.
Do you and him have children together?
No.
Detectives focused on the Rue family home on High Market Street, Leon's last known location. They interviewed family members, including Taish's father, Alexander Sr., and her brother, Alex Jr. Each of them had their own version of events, but detectives would get surprising information.
Mr. Rue?
Yes, sir.
I'm Investigator Powell. Do you mind if I speak with you and the kids?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can I come in?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Taish's father, Alexander, shared that he was in his bedroom that night, but he didn't hear an argument going on. And he also did not see Leon at all in the home.
Mr. Rue, like I said, I'm Investigator Powell.
Yes,
I work
sir.
for Georgetown Police Department. We're investigating Leon's disappearance, and we're just trying to talk to family members, anybody we can think of to talk to, try to figure out where he's at, what happened to him, you know, stuff like that. Was your son Alex there too?
I think Alex was at the house. Yeah, because he was getting ready to go out.
Okay, he was getting ready to go out. Did he say anything about seeing him?
Not to me. He said.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when it came to Alex Jr., it was something else. There had been tensions between Alex Jr. and Leon. The two didn't see eye to eye. Witnesses reported frequent disagreements, some even violent. Alex Jr. had threatened Leon before. There was bad blood. Leon had reportedly given Taish a sexually transmitted disease, and Alex Jr. claimed Leon had cheated on her. This anger, combined with past grudges, made Alex Jr. a person of interest. I want you to keep this part in mind as we move forward. According to Brittany, who recalled a moment when Alex had threatened Leon Jr. with a machete, yet Alexander Sr. maintained that the tension between his son and son-in-law had temporarily cooled off after a family trip to Washington. Investigators knew old grudges and jealousy could still play a role. Now detectives had a third suspect they needed to question. Alexander Rue Jr. was described by more than one witness as a fast talker. He didn't hesitate when police came around asking questions. He spoke quickly, openly, and without pause about the disappearance of his brother-in-law, a man he said he considered a good friend.
I got a brand new baby in the way, all type of stuff though. We filed my taxes. I was taking all the last Tuesday. Like, I ain't going nowhere, sir. I got a whole brand new address over here. I ain't going
Just
nowhere.
to get things started, can you just state your name, please?
Alexander Rue Jr.
Unlike his father, Alex stated that he had witnessed the argument between his sister and her husband that night. He described the exchange as tense, the kind of fight that made everyone in the room uneasy.
Tell me what happened, everything that happened that you can remember the last night you saw JR.
Last time I seen JR, and actually I didn't actually really see him. I heard him. He was outside. Him and my sister.
Okay.
You know, they always argue. They always go back and forth. They married. They always go back and forth. They always argue.
Yeah.
This and that. And then he leave a couple of days, come back. This and that. And that's what they do. You know what I mean? But I don't stay out there. I never do that. My sister, yeah, but I had to do it. I got my own son doing it. My first son ever in life, though. So you know.
Who was cheating, him or her?
He was cheating. But whatever. Like how that went. She came back in the house, slammed the door. She went in the room. That was it.
Do you know who you were cheating with?
No.
According to Alex, his sister was a mess over the disappearance of her semi-estranged husband.
Is your sister worried about Jared?
Worried about what?
Is she worried about him?
Yeah, she worried about him. Oh yeah, she going forward. She can't take it. She ain't been eating nothing. 3-4 days, no eating, no nothing. She's going crazy.
How come she never reported him missing?
Because they always argue. They always do this. The stuff they do. He always disappears for 1 week or 2 weeks. He always argues. Put it right for it. That's they go back and forth. Always argue.
Yeah, because just looking at her phone, like she didn't seem to be worried about him being gone at all. And it's been a couple weeks and she doesn't seem to be worried about him at all.
Well, she's worried. Believe that she's worried. Okay. But she found out he was cheating and all that type of stuff. She hurt too at the same time too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the baby mother and all them, the ones on this Facebook, all this little crazy dog, all the bunch of bullshit. But like I said, they most definitely love each other, 100%.
But what investigators discovered next would change everything. On March 14th, 3 days after Leon Jr. was reported missing, the Georgetown PD would find something suspicious. When investigators examined Taish and Leon's shared bedroom in the house on High Market, his last known location, they would find an area rug in front of the closet was oddly placed. Beneath it, a flannel blanket covered sections of missing carpet padding. When they tested it, it revealed dried blood. More bloodstains were found on the mattress, box spring, and hallway, and into the kitchen. It would also take detectives some time to have the blood tested and confirmed if it belonged to Leon. But in the moment, Taish had some answering to do. She claimed the stains were hers. She claims they were all from injuries or menstruation, and that some carpet pieces had been cut previously by Leon.
In the room, we found 2 pieces of missing carpet.
Yeah.
That had spots on them, and we tested spots, and they tested positive for blood. And our question to you is, why? Do you have any reason why?
Those pieces of carpet was missing before me and my husband even separated. He took them out. So
But there was blood on the mattress too. That soaked all the way through.
yeah, from me being my period. It's my blood. I pretty much, when I was pregnant, I had that bed when I was in DC, and I had an issue. Accident.
Okay.
And then also recently I had an accident as well. That's normal. It didn't make no difference to me.
But there's also some stuff in the middle of the bed that looks like splatter that would not have been from a period.
You guys can look. Y'all do whatever y'all feel y'all need to do.
We're gonna test it. We're getting it set off to test.
Absolutely fine to me. I'm not going to sit here and fall into this that you guys are trying to do. You guys just want to pin somebody. And that's why you're torturing me half to death. But it's okay.
No, we find it in the house. We have to ask questions. We can't.
I understand.
So
that's why I'm trying to cooperate as much as I can.
Yeah.
So you said Leon cut the carpet spots out.
Yeah, like we did this.
After y'all moved in.
Not even after, like maybe like a year after we've been there, we decided what he was doing, he cut it out because he wanted to take a sample of the carpet, and he said that he was going to find some guy. He had some guy that he was just going to put down new carpet. So that's why he did it. But it's been like that. Like recently, I threw a blanket over top of it, and I bought a new carpet when I was in DC from Ross to put over top of it.
Yeah.
You can check all that. It's on my credit card records or whatever. It's just I just recently put a carpet down because I didn't want to keep throwing a blanket over top of it.
Yeah.
The staining on the mattress, Taish explained, had been there long before. She said the bed set had belonged to her mother and was passed down to her. Investigators noted the detail, but Taish insisted it wasn't connected to Leon's disappearance. But when asked about her brother, Taish rejected the idea that he disliked her husband. She was firm. He would not have done anything to harm Leon. To her, the suggestion didn't make sense. Besides, she argued, there wasn't enough evidence at this stage to suggest Leon had met with foul play. Her words painted a picture of denial, or perhaps hope that nothing sinister had happened. But to detectives, every statement mattered. The mattress, the family ties, the insistence that her brother bore no ill will, all of it became part of the puzzle they were trying to piece together. As detectives pieced together the timeline, a new witness would come forward. Antoine Simmons, a friend of Alex Jr. He recalled a disturbing conversation that took place that Saturday after Leon disappeared. That day, Alex Jr. and Antoine had been helping a friend move furniture from Myrtle Beach to Georgetown. But while in the vehicle, fast-talking Alex Jr. would make a chilling remark.
He just was like, took him for a little ride. Him and my sister fell out, Talking about, he gave my sister a disease. He's cheating on my sister, back in child support and this, that, and the third. So,
He was telling you all this
while
I
was riding, My cousin in the back, but he don't know what's going on. I got the music playing. I keep telling him, man, chill out with that. You know what I'm saying?
He had been bragging in the car about taking Leon for a little ride because he had cheated on Taish and given her a disease. Alex Jr. implied that his sister knew about the plan and that their father, Alexander Sr., was involved too. Antoine didn't take it seriously at the time, thinking Alex Jr. was exaggerating and was constantly lying. But after Leon's body was found, Antoine realized the conversation held alarming truths. With this newfound information, investigators combined Antoine's account with cell phone and GPS data of all the Roux family, and the truth they found was even more horrifying than anyone imagined. On the night of the murder, a text from Taish had lured Leon back to the house, promising a private moment together. GPS confirmed Leon's phone traveled to the Roux family home, but after that, it went silent. Meanwhile, the phones of Taish, Alex Jr., and Alexander Sr. showed them together at the house around the same time. Hours later, 2 devices pinged near a local Walmart. Surveillance footage showed Alex Jr. buying 2 bottles of peroxide, while a man resembling Alexander Sr. used the store restroom before returning to the vehicle. After 2 a.m., all 3 phones were powered off, only to turn back on later at the High Market Street home, with no clear knowledge of where they may have been after 2 a.m. The evidence suggested a coordinated effort. Investigators were convinced that Leon had been killed inside the home, and that all 3 adults present had knowledge of or involvement in the crime. Of course, Leon ended up in the Black River. That fact alone was devastating, but investigators soon uncovered something even more troubling. Alexander Roux Sr. had failed to mention his late-night shopping trip to the police. He left out details that mattered, and when pressed, it became clear he had actively misled investigators about both his own whereabouts and those of his son on the night of February 25th and into the early morning hours of the 26th. He was arrested on charges of obstruction of justice, marking a turning point in the case. As for Alex Jr., he was charged with murder. Surprisingly, when he was finally brought into the station, the fast talker who once loved to tell stories suddenly had nothing more to say. The man who had filled conversations with quick words and explanations now sat in silence. For investigators, that silence spoke volumes. It was a sharp contrast to the way he had carried himself before, eager to talk, eager to explain, eager to be heard. Now, faced with direct questions and the weight of suspicion, his words were gone. But his silence wouldn't be long. While in custody awaiting trial, he began speaking to fellow inmates, revealing chilling details. One of those persons he spoke to was Austin Kites. Austin had ties to the Georgetown community. In fact, he wasn't just a name on paper. He was well known locally and connected through friendships that stretched across families. Austin was good friends with an aunt of Leon Harrison Jr., a bond that gave him a place in the story that investigators couldn't ignore. According to Austin Kites, Alex Jr. repeatedly boasted that they had dumped the body and that no one could link them to the crime. Since his father and sister weren't spilling, then no one could convict them for the crime. He even mentioned that the only way Leon's identity had been confirmed was through a tattoo on his arm.
Well, the guy, I know his name is JR, the one that was murdered.
JR, yeah.
There's a guy here by the name of Alexander Roux.
Mm-hmm.
He come up to me and he said, "That's what I'm here for, the murder of her nephew."
Mm-hmm.
He said, I think he said, murder, conspiracy after the fact, and disposing of a body was the charges he told me.
Right.
Then he said, "We dumped the body." I know for a fact that's what he said.
He told you personally,
We dumped the body. They ain't got nothing on me. We gonna get off.
And then he came back to you later and said,
about 20 or 30 minutes later,
20 or 30 minutes later said,
we dumped the body.
We dumped the body, and they
ain't got nothing on us. The only reason they knew it was JR was because of the tattoo on his arm.
Yep.
Investigators worked to connect all the dots. Blood evidence inside the home, combined with cell phone records, witness statements, and surveillance footage, painted a damning picture.
I'm mad, like, just said I'm gonna stay off social media, I'm gonna stay off all that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going through enough, man, like, this shit kicking my ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like he just might be somewhere else. Might be trying to get his mind right, maybe try and get himself together. I mean, he a Virgo, like me, and the world starts stressing me out, I get out of there too. Shit, while I'm working between us. I don't know, maybe try and fix itself. I don't know what's going on, man. All this shit just came about this morning, you know what I'm saying? I get up by my bed. I'm just stressed right now. I'll be all right. Thanks for asking. You seem concerned.
Taisha's insistence that she had no involvement became increasingly hard to reconcile with the evidence that pointed toward her complicity. Alex Jr.'s bragging and his father's obstruction further implicated the family in covering up the murder. By the autumn of 2021, the case went to trial. Taisha and Alex Jr. faced charges of murder, obstruction of justice, and desecration of human remains. The jury found both guilty of murder and obstruction, each sentenced to 37 years for the killing, plus 8 years for obstruction, to be served concurrently. Alexander Sr. was acquitted of murder, but convicted of obstruction of justice, receiving 8 years in prison and 3 years probation. All three were found not guilty of desecration of human remains. From prison, Taisha shared her reflections on her life and the events leading to Leon's death. In a recorded phone call, she recited a poem about lost love, betrayal, and the collapse of her marriage. She described how her relationship with Leon had deteriorated due to mistrust, infidelity, and secrets kept in the shadows. Though her words were poetic, the reality was stark. Leon Harrison Jr.'s life had been brutally cut short by the people he trusted most. The case shocked the Georgetown community. A devoted father, loyal son, and caring partner had been murdered in his own home, lured there by the very people closest to him. The combination of jealousy, anger, and premeditation made this crime particularly chilling. Social media, witness testimony, and detailed forensic investigation all played a role in uncovering the truth, but nothing could undo the harm done to Leon's family and children. Leon Harrison Jr.'s story reminds us that even in small, picturesque towns, darkness can hide behind familiar faces. The investigation revealed a grim reality. Betrayal from within one's own family can sometimes be more dangerous than any external threat. For Leon's children, the loss was unimaginable. Their father, who had always called them at bedtime without fail, was gone forever. Memories of his love and care became bittersweet reminders of the man they would never see again. Friends and family rallied around them, providing support, but the void left by Leon's absence could not be filled. And so the story of Leon Harrison Jr. comes to a close, at least in the courtroom. Justice was served, but the questions linger. How does a peaceful, loving father end up a victim in the home of those closest to him? How do relationships built on trust twist into something deadly? But maybe the most haunting part of all is this. In a world where love and loyalty can hide secrets and betrayals, How well do we really know the people closest to us? Leon's story is a reminder that even in the places we feel safest, danger can lurk, and that the consequences of choices made in anger, jealousy, or pride can echo for a lifetime. Leon Harrison Jr. may be gone, but his story isn't. It lingers in the questions we ask, in the warnings we pass on, and in the quiet reminder that every life lost leaves a ripple that touches more people than we realize. Rest in peace, Leon. Your memory endures, and your story will not be forgotten. What do you think about it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this story intriguing, please like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this.